Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today, I will be sharing some of my opinions that often spark a lot of debate, those opinions where it seems impossible to find common ground and everyone seems to disagree. I hope we can all discuss them respectfully in the comments. So, without further ado, let's get started. K-pop opinions that will get me cancelled. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this. I'm extending a hand as I say it, but no one cares about your opinion, even if you're a somewhat relevant YouTuber in the Ktube world. Deep down, no one cares what you think. It amuses me to see these types of video titles because no one knows who these people are. You can't be cancelled if no one knows who you are. Even if people respond to you or disagree with you, they don't do it because you have anything special or because they think your opinion is more valuable just because you have a few followers. Besides the fact that it's not true, people usually just want to argue, say what's on their mind, and then leave. You could give the most universally accepted opinion in the world, like Momo is a good dancer, and people will still come out to say she's not. In summary, you're not that important, no one is going to cancel you, and no one knows you. Plus your brutal K-pop opinions aren't as brutal as you think, they are just honest. A rapper doesn't have to write their own raps to be considered a rapper. I've never understood why a rapper has to write their own lyrics to be considered authentic, while a singer doesn't. Aren't they essentially the same thing? I get that writing their own lyrics adds a plus, it feels genuine because it comes from within and they know what they're talking about since they wrote it themselves. But if they don't write their own lyrics, it doesn't really matter to me. It seems like rappers who do write their own lyrics often use it to feel superior to others, even if they might not be as good at rapping as those others. When you listen to someone, you should already be able to tell if they're good at singing or rapping without needing to know if they write their own lyrics to form an opinion on their rap. If you really like a rapper and then find out they don't write their own songs, did you stop liking them? That's something you simply can't control. And let's not even start on those rappers who claim to write their own lyrics but conveniently have 4 other writers credited on each song. I'd like to know which parts they actually wrote and which parts were written by ghostwriters. For me, if you write your songs, great. If you don't, that's fine too. But their human excuse is ridiculous. Obviously, idols are human. I don't think any K-pop fan has ever mistaken one for an alien. Sometimes, it's appropriate to remind people of this when an idol faints from overwork or makes a small mistake, but you can't use it as an excuse when an idol can't do their job. There's also the typical "let's hear you sing" response. It's like, what? I haven't trained to sing. I haven't spent half my life as a trainee, and no one expects me to be able to sing. But from a singer, we do have that expectation. If an idol is constantly making big mistakes, not hitting any notes and generally can't sing, fans always come out with, "they're only human." I would understand if it were occasional mistakes, but you're not fooling anyone when you use that excuse in other situations. They're humans who have a job to do. There is no best song of the year, best album, or best artist. This might seem simple, but there are still people who think otherwise, so I'm adding it. The best song or artist is something personal. For me, aespa has been one of my favorite groups this year, but I understand that some people stopped listening to them once the avatars were no longer part of the concept, because it's their personal taste, and they would never say this was aespa's year. These award ceremonies that give out prizes for the best works are made for fans to get validation for their opinions. Not all groups are even nominated to begin with, and I think we've moved past the collective phase of thinking that if something isn't popular, it's not good. Additionally, fans vote based on their personal taste, and the most popular choice wins. I think it's fine to have these awards for fun, but not to use them as a weapon against other groups. My favorite group is BTS, and I can say that when your favorite group wins an award, it feels good, but at the end of the day, it's all about popularity and doesn't mean anything more than that. If, for you, the best song of the year is one that hasn't entered any charts and people have forgotten about it, then enjoy it, because it's your best song. Self-produced doesn't automatically mean it's good. Companies spend a lot of money on songwriters and producers, so they're obviously going to produce high quality music most of the time. If a member of a group is talented enough to handle those tasks, that's great, but it doesn't always result in good songs, cause not anybody can do it. Take SM Entertainment as an example. Despite being one of the more criticized companies, they consistently produce good music. When artists leave the company and try to make music on their own, they often convince themselves that they can do it alone and that songwriting and producing aren't that difficult, even though they are quite challenging. The same applies to rappers. For me, knowing that a group has produced their own music doesn't automatically make me like it. However, some people do see it as a plus, and sometimes it's used as a comparison tool. If this group produces their own music and yours doesn't, it's inferior. But if you can't tell whether the music is good or not by listening to it, that's what truly matters. I'm not saying that self-produced music is inherently bad, I'm just saying that it's not always good, especially in the K-pop industry. The meanings of the songs should not be hard to understand. I don't want to point fingers, but there are many examples of this in both songs and music videos. A song might have a message, but it's not effective if you have a complete song without any meaning and then try to overlay a message onto it as if it adds depth. If no one listening to the song can understand the message, then something is wrong. It's not about intelligence or missing details if the meaning only becomes clear when explained afterward. It means the execution wasn't done well. I love hype groups for this reason. Their songs often have deep meanings, but they're not like puzzles missing pieces. Let me explain it another way. Your song isn't automatically better just because it has a meaning, and trying to force a message into it doesn't make it more valid. You might claim your song is very profound, but if it doesn't come across that way to listeners, then it's not genuinely deep. Standing a pre-debut group isn't the flex you might think it is. I also have issues with how people have used the term stan. It's impossible to truly stan 50 groups to me. Standing means staying up to date with their new releases, consuming their content, listening to their albums, and maintaining that level of engagement. It's hard to believe you can do that with 50 groups simultaneously with the same intensity. As for pre-debut groups, you can be excited about their debut or follow their updates, but can you really say you're standing them? I suppose everyone has their own definition of what it means to stan, but I personally couldn't stan a pre-debut group because a big part of standing is listening to their music, and if there's no music to listen to, I can't really stan them. It's different with groups that come from survival shows because there's content to follow even before their official debut. But when a company announces a new group and they already have hundreds of fan accounts, it feels a bit strange to me.
And this has been all. I hope you like it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did. It would help me a lot. See ya.